Coming to you live from the city of Lagos, this is The Road to Loma. My name is Nkasiobi, Chukwu, and I am your host right here today. And I am not alone. I have two special people, just like we always have, and they're here to give us a little bit of insight and knowledge into what we have as Location Marketing Awards. First, we have Mr. Tope in the building. Tope, how's it going?
I'm very well, thank you very much. Thank you for having me, and I'm very excited to be here.
Great to have you here. And I have Miss Oghale. How's it going? How's it going?
Very well, as always. I'm very pleased to be part of this. Thank you for having me.
Usually this is the part where I just ask people to just introduce themselves and tell us just what you do. And I always kind of lean towards my left, but you know, ladies first, like they say. Or should we go with the men?
No,
I mean, the feminists seem like they were right though. Gender equality, so it could be anyone. But please go ahead.
So I'm Oghale Mafuru. I'm a broadcast brand journalist and a content creator. Until recently, I was the anchor person for Marketing Edge on TV, one of the leading brand-centric advertising TV program that airs on TVC News. And I'm currently looking, towards good opportunities within the industry as well.
Perfect. Tope.
All right. I think some people might already know me. My name is Tope Ayanbade. I'm an OH enthusiast, strategist and planner. I work with MediaReachOMD Nigeria, one of the leading media advertising agency in Nigeria. Like I said, it takes some level of brand love, and as well as loving what you do to be in our space, and that's what has been propelling us. I'm an OH enthusiast, and so first and foremost, ahead of every other thing, I love outdoor. And like I also tell my team members, I said we are the area boys of the industry because for you to be a location-based marketing expert, you need a fair knowledge of
the ground
and what's happening out there, right? So we deal from our everyday life. We deal with the area boys out there. Even most of our OH inventories are all out there. We always out there scouting and looking for opportunities and how we can reach our audience while they're on the go, and which is what drives us most of the time.
That's amazing. When you talked about strategy and planning, it occurred to me that one of the categories that we have this year that we're reviewing is the best use of data.
Yeah.
So, and I just want you to speak on that. How important is data, and why that should give us a sort of like an insight into why it's really valuable that we have a category that actually celebrates the use of data. So, can you just speak on that a bit? Tell us about just the importance of data when it comes to the OH industry.
Yeah. So, in what we do, like every day we play with data. Like that's how I put it. We play with data because data is a gold mine, and that's full of different opportunities, and it takes a good planner and a strategist to be able to probe those data sets, understand what it says, and bring out those actionable insights from those data. So what we do requires you to have the understanding of that data, that helps you bring out, to make it a lot more relevant and more insightful, because inside those data are those insights that you need, to drive the brand to the desired position where they want to be.
Absolutely. And I think one can't even overstress that. One of the things like I keep trying to remind people, and like the work we're doing here at OH Academy, and by extension Loma, is to not only celebrate the people who have done great work or to drive and improve the public's perception or understanding of the credibility of our industry, but hopefully to also educate and inspire younger minds. And so that's why I asked that question that way, so people start to understand when we have viewers who are pretty much new to this, that you can sit back and understand that when it comes to data, it's something that is non-negotiable. Unfortunately, there are maybe too many times where brands or let me just say brands, but let's say people make certain marketing decisions off of excitement as opposed to any real area of interest. And maybe and this is something that I think someone like you will agree with. Unfortunately, we're still in a space where even when you have the data, people still don't really care. You can come to a presentation and be like, oh, here's 72 reasons why it's great for you to set up in Kano because of what your brand hopes to achieve. Yeah. And you can say like, but I still want that board in Lekki. So it's like, I think that it's really important to now finally be able to see that there are people who are still delivering based on data, because that's the type of energy that we need going forward. And I think you would agree. Looking at Loma is one of the few awards that is vetted by ARCON. So, and I don't even know if you have thoughts on that, just in terms of what ARCON represents, in your opinion, and why that's a good thing for Loma.
ARCON, recently started a new wave of restructuring the entire ecosystem, repositioning itself, beginning with a name change and then coming up with a new ARCON law that clearly addresses how awards of this nature should be, carried out to, express more of transparency and credibility, which we need in the industry in terms of encouraging more professionalism and, performance in terms of delivering well on the marketing objectives of clients. And it's interesting to know that Loma has clearly fulfilled all that criteria in terms of making it more transparent. And when we talked to Kingsley earlier on, he was speaking about the fact that he isn't even part of the entire process. We have third-party people who are, involved in ensuring that credible, the platform is credible, the award is credible, and if you are a winner, if you emerge a winner of the awards, you are indeed, you deserve to be the winner. And so it's interesting to note that ARCON, as a regulatory body, has put out all the modalities in place to ensure that there is more professionalism in the industry. And Dr. Fadolapo has done impressively well in the industry, carrying along all key stakeholders, because the conversation has always been about collaboration. And having spoken to many industry professionals who have in their own right demonstrated professionalism, they've really spoken well to how ARCON and of course the DG has taken on the initiative to reposition the industry, looking at professionalism and of course ensuring that there are stipulated guidelines and everyone adhere to all those guidelines. So Loma, of course, you talked about data and of course information. We have seen how technology has rapidly shifted how we do business. After the COVID-19 pandemic, I saw that most professionals were finding ways to adapt to the new changes. Interestingly, I've seen professionals who have been very adaptive and very proactive as well. When you talk about data optimization, you need to be proactive enough to be able to harness the immense opportunities that data presents to us. And it's interesting to find out that most professionals are very interested in harnessing the immense opportunities in technology. And so these Loma Awards gives us another opportunity to strengthen that drive for more professionalism in terms of harnessing technology. We know that technology is an enabler and data plays a fundamental part of that entire conversation, because without data, a lot of people talk about data is life. Airtel says data is life, but data is the new oil, and then if you must mine data, you have to mine accurate data, and it goes beyond mining data. You have to be able to get the correct insights from data, because we see that aside the fact that technology has rapidly changed the way we do businesses as professionals, the consumer has also changed.
Very true.
We are talking to, there was a professional I spoke to who said to us in a conference that the consumer you slept with last night would not be the same consumer you wake up with tomorrow morning. So that means that information change, data on that consumer you knew yesterday has changed today. And so that means that we need to keep learning, we need to keep following the consumer along the consumer touch point. So it's something that you keep doing. And when you talk about data, you talk about, being proactive. And one other professional would say that if you do not disrupt, you get disrupted. And so you have to keep innovating, keep trying to see how you can harness data. Now we're talking about AI. Justly, you're an AI professional, and we've spoken about the wonderful things that you're doing with AI. But let's see how we can bring that AI into the business that we do in serving the clients. And we're talking about cutback in advertising budget. No client wants to throw money anyhow. So we should be able to defend the value that we bring to the clients in terms of return on investment. And so you should be able to prove that your 1 naira, this is the result for that 1 naira. And so the Loma Awards will be giving assessment. Taking cognizance of all of this to ensure that, the agency who wins at the end of the day is that agency who knows how to optimize data to serve the client's needs and also deliver on their expectations.
I think that's really beautifully put. And one of the things that I think that just dawns on me hearing you speak is the fact that data works hand in hand as a justification for all this innovation that we're talking about. When we talk about the innovative things, what people do, even the use of AI, ultimately we don't do these things, or we shouldn't do these things just because we think it's cool to do. While that might be a factor somewhere in there for someone, ultimately it has to be informed by what the data is telling us. If we think that consumers are either being saturated by a certain kind of content, or a certain medium of communication, or approach, then it will be time for us to pivot a little bit, find better ways to market to them. Because it's maybe worth saying, especially for people who are newer to the industry, that we've gone far away from the days when it was just outdoor, in quotes, and it was more about just one billboard, another lamppost. That's why this is literally called location marketing, because it's several factors that all come together to meet people at certain spaces. The form that takes would vary from time to time. And I think that's the role of innovation, where we're trying to say, how do we better utilize the spaces that we have, the places where people converge, and how do we interact with them in that use case? Are we still talking about setting up boards? Are they going to be static? Are they going to be LEDs? Are we talking holographic projections now? Are we talking, maybe a bit more than that, and who knows what the future holds for us? More and more, we're starting to see that virtual reality will be a thing over the next year or two. And more than that, there's the whole visual pass-through technology that people are talking about now, where the headsets would allow you still see what is directly in front of you. So which means, who knows, in the next few years, we will all be wearing glasses that are projecting content to us as we walk around, which means that when we get to certain locations, will that activate a certain content for the consumer to consume, in quotes, at that space? I don't know, but guess how we would know? From the data. But in the meantime, I have one more question for you. And I'm thinking, one of the categories that we have is the customer-oriented category. And I think that speaks to maybe a certain possible con that might exist in the industry. And what I mean is that, it means that it's noteworthy that we celebrate people who are doing well in this space. But what is the day-to-day challenge that you believe people run into that makes a category like this important? So what I'm saying is, what does it look like when this isn't really being met? What is that struggle like?
Yeah, so before you see an outdoor message, churned out there, a lot of things, go into that process. And one of the things that goes into that process is, the process of, material delivery, material posting. There are operational guys, that go out there and make those things happen, right? So right from where the agency, gets the strategies approved, they get the plans approved, then the creatives also are being approved. Then there's a production process that starts immediately. And right from the production outfits, the materials go straight to the media partners. We call them the media partners because they are the ones who, their efforts brings out, what we do basically. So they they send the materials to the field where they're posted, maybe within Lagos or outside up country and wherever we want these messages to fly, right? Right from through these processes, you understand that there are key people who are involved in all of these things. So it's always very, very important, to be able to recognize these guys. Some of them not very not very educated. They're so all of this put together, makes our work, as location marketing experts, seen out there. So one of those guys are the guys who climb up the unipoles and all the billboards to flight those materials. And you and I can't wear our suits and start climbing up the unipoles, right? Yeah. So it takes some sort of skill set to get that done. So these are the guys that helps us to get all these things done. And how flexible do they get these things done under very tiny circumstances? You give them materials today, clients want materials posted tomorrow. You can't travel all the way through to Ibadan to go and flight these materials. These guys, go outside of their ways, courier these materials to those places under what circumstances we don't know, but we just see that all of these things get done, right? So we should try to recognize this set of people who make all of these things happen, right? And it's a whole lot of process. I must tell you, right from area boys harassing them on the streets, saying no, you can't do that. You can don't climb that thing. Calm down. These are the kind of different things that happens. I'll give you an example. There was a particular time we're trying to put out an innovation, right? And right from getting approvals from regulatory agencies, for those things, and to actual fabrication and production, there are guys, that are in between all these things, that guys driving all these things every step of the way. So these guys are the guys that make things happen for real. Because for us, the strategies and the ideas are just ideas. They are, like one of my clients will say, they say they are wish lists. But there are certain guys who make those wish lists a reality. And these are the guys, that we're talking about here. And I think it is a very, very good category, to be able to recognize them and all of the efforts and what they do.
I mean, on a very light note, to give you guys warning if I say it. One of the things you mentioned is the area boys, and I feel like in a bunch of the conversations we've had in previous episodes, people have always talked about the area boys that have to be dealt with.
More key stakeholder.
And it's time to seem to me like the Loma team might have to create a category for area boys. So we'll have the best area boy of the year, the one that did not give us problem at all, or give us the least amount of wahala. So come and celebrate him and be like, oh, thank you so much for not stressing us this year. Like, more yummy, more apelue. So I'm sorry, guys. My Yoruba is probably terrible, but you get the gist. But in any case, I think that this is the reason why we do what we do. This is the reason why it's important to have these conversations, because besides having moments where people are, like, if anybody's watching right now, I'm sure you can absolutely relate to this, or people actually learning from it. So if you're doing it, you can relate. If you're about to do, step into the industry, you are learning something, and it's an interesting part of the journey. I'll put it that way, But one quick question that I have though, there's a category that we have called the Media Independent Agency of the Year, and I was thinking, for the benefit of those people who are a lot younger, what does that mean? What does media independent mean? When we say that, what do we deduce from that? Now, this one I'll put this one out there for anybody who wants to pick up on it. Tope, do you want to speak on it?
Okay. You want me to? Okay, you can go ahead.
Yeah.
All right. So I would love to step in there, because that's what we do and that's who we are. So we are the media independents, right? We are the guys who are involved in the process of identifying the right consumer and the right target audience for the clients, advertising messages to go through, and doing that in a within a very short period of time, and in a very cost-effective way, right? So that's just a layman, definition of what we do. So media independents basically are the media agencies, involved in the process, of buying those media slots, those advertising spaces, or those billboards on the streets, and we identify them,
Yeah, so this is separating the people who are media owners.
Yeah, we stand between the media owners and the consumers, because we put we give the media contracts to the media owners, who in turns puts out the advertising messages to the general public.
And so why their role is very critical is that they help to understand the target audience and the message, so they know the ideal media platform.
Of course, yeah.
You can use to reach your target audience. So they are should I call them specialists in understanding the demography, the segment of the market you're trying to reach, and how you can actually get your message across. You also help to monitor the performance of your messages as well.
Which sounds perfectly beautiful to me. So now this is slightly on a more personal to say. For you, Oghale, when you heard about Loma coming up, what was your first thought? Like I don't know, did you get a text message? Did you get a phone call? What was that conversation? What was that like? And what came to your mind? Like,
you want me to tell you the truth?
I don't think there's anybody that will say, I want you to lie to me. So I think I'll go with, I want you to tell me the truth.
So Kingsley reached out
Yeah.
and wanted me to be part of it. And when he called on Friday evening, he was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, I'm reaching out at this time." And so the thing is, when I hear anything about the industry, I'm very excited.
Okay.
If I have the time, I would love to be part of it. And I'd love to tell Kingsley, anytime you want me, I'll be very available. Yes, because anything about, Malcolm.
Yeah.
I love the industry. And so when he said, "Well, I said, calm down, you talk too fast." But so let me try to complain.
No, I'm going to defend my guy. Is he talking too fast or are you listening too slow? Perspective, my people.
No, he was actually talking too fast. So when I was listening, and then he said, so person gave me your number. In fact, I missed the name of it, but it was really, really fast. So when he was done talking, I knew, okay, it's about the industry. I said, I will be available, I'll make it, but come, who even gave you my number? And then he said it was me. Should I mention his name? Anyways, but the thing is, it's a brilliant idea. We talked about it more extensively before we came on the show.
Yeah.
And it gave me a deeper perspective. I'm seeing that a young man having to take on this novel initiative is very applaudable, because he's starting something very new, and I think everyone should support him. First, I'm particularly interested in the fact that it's a credible platform. It's something that would encourage more of professionalism, more of performance, to improve the entire work that we do as professionals. And I think it's a mind-blowing one, and I look forward to the maiden edition come September 29th. I will represent big time.
Look, we out here because she took it out of my mouth. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Location Marketing Awards happening on the 29th of September 2023. So very quickly, I'd like to say thank you to you, Oghale. Thank you for coming out here.
Thank you for having me.
Tope, thank you so much. You guys have been very great. I think that today we really kicked some knowledge. All right, so shout out to you guys. I'm sure you have learned one or two things. And don't mention, don't stress yourself. Don't say thank you too quickly. It's all right. If you learned anything from what she said, next time you're calling somebody for a pitch, talk fast.
No,
because
talk slowly, yeah.
But it worked.
Cool, yeah.
Anyways, live from the city of Lagos, we say good morning, good afternoon, good night, wherever you are across the world. This has been The Road to Loma.